Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I am playing Cities Skylines 2, and today we will continue playing in the city of Springville, and I will try to fix some of the issues that we have popping up as the city is growing, and also some of the problems that I have identified in the previous episodes. But first, I wanted to take a look at what we did in the last episode and where we left off. We left off by making a transition between the downtown or the city center up into the palmy leafy areas. And I found this car. So I thought I would follow the car to see where are you going and what are you doing and how is driving in this city. And as I started following this car, I thought, oh, looks quite nice. Although some people are speeding or driving a bit fast, I thought, well, looks like you're having fun in a busy town. Then the car started. Just seems like the driver is a bit confused. So I was like, okay, maybe I really don't know. What is this driver doing? Because I don't think this is how you're supposed to drive in Springville. I'm not sure. I think I'm actually quite speechless over this driving and in such a tiny car and this busy traffic, almost hitting other cars, making U-turns where U-turns aren't meant to be made, just driving around. I, I, I don't know. I so I don't know. Is this due to my planning of the city, or is it just due to bad driving skills and bad planning skills from this person? I'm really not sure. But, anyways, uh, there must be something explaining why that driver was driving as he was. But to jump into the game and the further development of the city, I was speaking about adding another connection to the highway, uh, just so that not all the cars have to drive on this street to get into the district. And I'm trying to figure out how to make another transition between the other districts of the city and into this part of the city, because I want to keep this part of the city, the leafy, palmy, tree, branchy part. I want to keep that as the quiet, not so busy part of town, although it's going to be busy because there is a lot of people moving into this part of the city. So it will be a busy part. But I want to make a transition, and I also will try to make a connection to the highway into this part of the city, but I'm not sure how to actually do that quite yet. So I will have to see how that works out as we are going along with the new developments in Springville. And here I actually saw a house on fire, and wanted to check that one out a bit more. And looks like the fire department reached the fire, but it seems like it's getting there a bit late because it seems like there's also maybe a dead person due to the fire. But yeah, that's not the happy start to this district, but I guess that happens sometimes. yeah, but also something we will have to look into, the fire and police and medical aid to the citizens. But yeah, I think this district has turned out quite nice, and there will be tweaking of this one also. But I think I did a good job laying out this district, and it's looking good. And I think that the whole city is starting to look good. As we look into it, I can see that there is uh, naturally, or it looks like there is starting to form a part of the city where the grids will be, and there is also natural transitions between these districts or these areas and the other areas. And I will have to also do some tweaking around where I placed the university, and adding in some medium density buildings here. And I will have to look at how the layout of the city in this part also is. But what bothers me or makes me concerned is the amount of money we have in the city. So, as I spoke about in previous episodes, I would have to do some raising of the taxes, and I spoke about the highly educated raising those taxes. Well, none of the people living here is highly educated, so I went for the well educated and raised the taxes for them, and also the industry, because yeah, they can pay more money because they are polluting. So yeah, that's what I did here to see if I can get some more money, because I was having a low amount of money and also losing money, and that I can't live with that. And I also figured out that I placed the high school here, and what I called the university, college, and high school in previous episodes is actually the welfare office. And I can't have it there, but right now I don't have the money to move it, so I will just leave it there for a while I figure out some of the other issues I have been identifying as I have been looking through the recordings of my previous gameplay. So, so I'm learning actually while I'm looking at the videos and recording, because we have to do something about the farming situation also, as that one was quite a catastrophe. Yeah, it's going well. So I did some tweaking of the areas of farming that I previously placed down, and I unlocked the dairy house, and placed down more farms, a good mixture of both the grain, vegetable, and animal farming here, and actually spent some time trying to make it so that there is many farms in a small area, and that I can get the most of this section of the map when it comes to the farming area. And I was so confused about why one of the farms wouldn't plop down where it's supposed to be, or where I wanted it to be. And it turns out I have some old mill ruins in this place, so that's quite nice actually. Makes it it seems right that it's situated right there. But yeah, it actually took me quite a while to figure out that it was the mills that was making me not being able to place down the farm as I wished. And but eventually I thought, now I got it. Now it looks fine. And then I go out of the industry window, and there's this issue I get sometimes when placing down farms that, or a specialized industry, that the road isn't connecting, and I don't know why That is, it bothers me because I made a layout and go out and I see that, oh, I have to fix it again. So, but then I just went in and deleted them and changed some of the layout of it, and in the end I think it turned out quite nice. I see that some of those will have to be edited later, but I guess I guess for now this is doing what it's supposed to do, and also placing down the area house. Sorry for my voice today. It's early in the morning and I'm tired, and I'm drinking coffee, and yeah. But I'm trying to make this area into a small farming district where people also can live. I want some people to live in this area, not many, but a few people living there with a few commercial shops also. And I might go in and delete the already existing industry to see if they will pop up as maybe stone or tree or farming industry instead of the other industry that is has developed in this area. But looking at it, it does look like a farming area, and maybe the placement of the quarry is wrong. Maybe it will have to be moved, but it looks like we are onto something here. And as I said, I wanted to place down a few buildings just so that we can have a few people living here, maybe the farmers. And I don't want the houses to be too close together. And I want it just to be small houses, maybe a bit larger. But yeah, trying to make this nice little farming community over here right now. So, and I was also thinking about maybe adding a connection to the highway here, but I have used the gravel roads in the farming area, and I don't want to add the connection to the highway here because of that. And I also don't want other people to access this area as a shortcut into the city, because I don't want lots of cars driving past where the food is made, because that will make it not so clean, I guess. It's a strange thought I have, but I decided on not doing that here right now. So we will see where I end up putting another connection to the highway around here somewhere. And I also really wanted to make the roads bendy and curvy and palmy and leafy here, because that would seem more authentic. But the room here was too small to make it efficient enough for me to place down a few houses also. So I ended up with these straight roads and plopping down a few houses, trying to again manage how big the houses will turn out by placing them down and letting them develop before I place down another house right beside it. And in the end, it ended up looking quite good. But two of the green residential areas I placed down they just wouldn't turn into houses. Maybe they would have eventually. So I ended up placing down two commercial areas also, for them to have maybe a store or something, I guess. And I guess it's because of the low land value at that placement that the houses didn't develop. So yeah. But in the end, I think I made this farming district quite nice, and it will develop and it will get bigger. So maybe I will have my leafy palmy roads also here eventually. But now the farms are correctly placed, and I no longer have the animal farming on the fertile land, and everything is good. And I was also looking at some of the economics in the city and trying to see if there is some way to raise the income to the city at this point. But I guess I just thought that okay, it's as people are moving in and as we develop, I will earn more money on the taxes from them. So it's not a big issue. It's just me being afraid because right now I don't have a lot of money. And also, there is popping up some abandoned housing or houses. So I like to delete those so they don't just stand there and eventually just fall down on you and you have to remove them anyway. So just deleted some of them. And I see that we also have the issue of the high rent icon popping up above a lot of the houses in the area that right now is the center or downtown of the city. So we will have to also look into that eventually. But I guess some of this will disappear once I develop the city further. But what I originally said that I would focus on when I started the episode was the area or the transition up to the leafy part of town. And as the demand for the medium density houses skyrocketed or was quite high at this point of the game, I managed to place down quite a lot of the apartment buildings where a lot of people would want to live. And I placed some in front of the university, and I made some sort of not curvy, but some sort of not symmetrical transition into the town by the highway, and placed down also some of the apartment buildings in this area and also some of the row houses to get some sort of mix in this area. I also want to place down some offices and some more combined residential and commercial buildings in this area just to make it a small busy hub in front of the Palmy Palmy Heights, maybe we should call it. Yeah. So in the end, when or not in the end, because I'm not finished with this development, but as far as I have come now, I think it looks quite good. I just wish I was better at leveling the terrain before I place down houses, but I guess I also will have to go in and do that later on and remove some of the houses. I just forget to level the terrain around the roads before I place them down, and after placing them down before I put down the residential. So it ends up being some residential buildings that are just levels below the other, and it makes it not so pretty, in my opinion. But the demand for medium residential housing and also most of the demands are not so high right now. It's just the low residential that is in demand. So I figured out I would just wait it out and see which demand is the next one to pop up, hoping that it will be the medium demand and the commercial, so I could place down some of the combined residential and commercial buildings, and also trying to make this area into speeding the game up to see how it develops, and trying to see how people are using the area. Although it's early, in the development of this area. I just wanted to see how is this working out for the people living here, and also placing down a park to have them or give them somewhere to enjoy their lives. And yeah, I think this area turned out quite nice. The traffic situation here is going to be something I have to handle because now there is a lot more cars using these areas, and placing down a parking lot would also be good in this area to try to avoid the cars parking because there's a lot of people living in a small space of this town now. So, but I cannot figure out right now how to make it a good transition into the highway. But I think I will make a highway that's going around and out on the other side of town, probably. So the highway that is now going straight into town won't be the most used area. But we will have to see. And trying to level or smoothen or soften the terrain after placing down buildings is not working. I knew that, but it felt like it was too ugly to watch. But in the end, I was just, it is what it is. And then this will also probably be changed as the areas are developing. But I think it's developing quite naturally right now, apart from the issue of the highway going straight into town. So I guess I will have to buy more land, but at this point of the game, I'm not doing that because I spent so much money on other developments of the city. So, and I was actually at the point where the only demand that was actually quite high is the low residential buildings, and I didn't want to expand the leafy palmy area, and I didn't want to place down too many of the uh, low residential uh, buildings other places. So I just tweaked some in the industrial area just to make more workplaces come into town, maybe. Didn't do a big change there, but just added some roads so that more fabrics or more factories could develop in that area to make room for more workplaces for people. And thinking that maybe that will make the demand for other things go up some. But still looking at this traffic situation over here and trying to figuring it out and just trying to forget the entire thing for a while because there is not any signs of a traffic jam that I can see at this point. But then I saw that the highway was showing signs of a traffic jam. There's a one lane at the highway and it goes over to become a two-lane uh, before it hits town. And I was wondering, why is there a traffic jam, and kind of panicking and thinking, oh, do I have to do the development right now? I haven't got the money, I haven't got the creativity or the I can't do this right now, so please don't be a traffic jam. And it turns out it's a person that is driving his motorbike or motorcycle on the highway in front of the other cars, making the traffic go slower. And that will happen from time to time, that there is a slow driver driving and making the traffic jam. But yeah, it's quite interesting to see how a small thing can affect a lot and cause a lot of issues in the city. So yeah, but it just pinpoints or puts my focus on that the the traffic situation when coming into town has to be fixed, and I guess I will have to buy the land tiles above here to make this well functioning place to come into town, because a lot of cars are using it, and that was my wish that the cars would come in from that side also, but it's it's not something I have the money to do right now. But pausing the game and thinking about how to figuring out this, I just thought that okay, I will have to develop the city up until level 7, and then I will get more money, and that will give me the possibility to develop the highway or do something about the highway. And that is the solution I'm going for right now, and trying to just not think too much about it. And developing the city when there is not a lot of demands in the city is quite hard, because then I don't really know how to develop it, and I don't want to spend a lot of time placing down areas that might pop up when the demand rises for some of the the areas. But we see that there is some demand rising at this moment, so there is a possibility to reach the level 7 of this city quite soon, I think. So that will be the solution for the highway problem. But as the demand for some medium and some medium residential and some commercial actually went up right now, I wanted to make a curvy, bendy road into the roundabout. That is the probably the roundabout that will cause me some issues in a while, and trying to just fill out this area to make it look like a busy, or make it a busy small part of town with the mixed commercial and residential houses, and maybe also eventually some offices in this area, so the commute for some of the people living in the area won't be too long, because it's quite drive from this side of town up to the industrial area. So that's something that I was trying to figure out how to make some workplaces close by here now. So, and I think it turned out to be a nice road and a nice transition again. I like it, but the roundabout will have to be. I have to do something about that roundabout at some point. And I don't know why, but I'm really not keen on getting into making another district with the low demand residential or low density residential area. Not at this point. There is a lot of space where I could do it, but I'm not keen on making another leafy palmy area right now. I think it's because I want the population to get higher faster. So figuring out that I would just live on the wild side and place down some low density residential housing in the beside the first school I put down and the cemetery, and living on the wild side and trying to fill this one out by just using the filler tool, you might call it. And that didn't go as planned. I guess because I can't live on that wild side, because it's not working out for me because the people are building too big, and I just don't want them to do that because I know that will cause me issues later on in the game. But I just tried closing my eyes, and trying to be this wild is kind of hard for me. So I figured I'll just let them do what they're doing, and maybe it will work out. And I'll just spend some time around this bus station trying to make this more pretty, and making some of the combined residential and commercial areas here, and also trying to fill out. I think this is a desperate act from me, trying to fill out more spaces where there is already low zoning residential buildings or low density, and trying to just not have to get into the large building of a new residential zone. But it's going quite slow, and as my goal is to reach level 7 and receive the money you can receive there without having to develop too much, it's kind of going too slow, but I just don't want to do it right now. I haven't got the energy to sit down and make another curvy leafy place for people to live right now. So trying to figure out other solutions to this as the demands are not high right now. But at this pace, it will take me forever to reach level 7 and reach my goals in life. So just have to get the bright idea on how to not cheat my way up until level 7 and not spend too much money. But the city is, I think it's developing quite nicely right now. There is busy parts of the town, and there is quiet parts of the town. There is something for everybody, I would say, in this town. So it's although I'm talking a lot about the issues, I'm quite liking how this town is developing right now. But what I'm not too happy about is when the game pops up several of the same building as here for gas stations and lots of buildings looking alike. So, but I guess that will change as the town grows bigger, and I would just have to figure out how to make a new low density residential area without the needs of the city, or when the needs of the city is exactly that, low density, not high as I wish it would be. But looking at the economics right now, it's going up, not fast, but it's going up, and that's good. And we're producing a surplus of some of the farming things. That is also good. So I think we will see more development in the next episode of Springville and see how that turns out. So ending this episode here, it's quiet, it's going up, but not fast. That has been like this the entire gameplay. So maybe next episode we will reach level 7 and we will see more development and more demands in the city. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again. Bye!